Right, everybody, welcome back to a news video. In this video, we'll be talking about Joshua Zirkzee. He didn't want to join the club or something about going on like that. Anthony exit, Old Trafford, and the development on that. Let's get straight into it. So, we're going to start by talking about Joshua Zirkzee. And it said, Ten Hag did not want to sign Joshua Zirkzee and fumed at striker for being a stone overweight. Joshua Zirkzee arrived at Manchester United a stone overweight, and Erik ten Hag didn't even want him. They've labelled it as a flop. Listen, you got to give it time. But the 36.5 million flop has just scored once this season, as it only started 4 of United's 12 Premier League games. Now, Sun Sport can reveal not only did he arrive at United out of shape, it's taken a while to shift that extra weight. His condition left manager Erik ten Hag unhappy with his choice of striker in the first place. His arrival from Bologna was instigated by Ineos' new management team, who identified the 23-year-old as good value for money. There's a huge amount of debate now, with many Manchester United fans still wondering if the fitness levels needed to be a Prem player. In terms of United, his time so far, he's played 10 games, 6 chances created, 1 goal, 1 assist, 6 shots on target, 116 passes, and 3 fouls. The thing with Zirkzee is, he's a United player, so you want to see the best out of him. Yes, it's frustrating that he isn't scoring goals, and he's only scored 1 goal since joining Manchester United. But the fact to call him a flop, 10 games or 15 games into the season, is a bit embarrassing. I don't think that's a fair representation. Yes, he hasn't had the greatest start. Yes, he hasn't been doing great things, but we've seen glimpses of Zirkzee, and he has been... He has had some very, very good performances at Manchester United. Yes, he hasn't been great defensively and scoring goals, but for me, I want to see him succeed at Manchester United. Ultimately, I think he's a player with a lot of potential. He is 23. What we did see from him at Bologna was very, very good. Yes, he hasn't. It does take time to adapt to the Premier League, and I think we are going to give him maybe 1 or 2 seasons to do that. I think that's what he deserves, and that's what any player deserves. But for me, I think it's incorrect to kind of call him a flop, go down on him. Yes, we criticise his performances because some of them haven't been good this season. You can do that 100%. But I don't think you should be criticising a player, going in on the player. He's ultimately trying his best, and it's just not coming down for him at the moment. As I said, I think time will kind of show. Then Ineos will probably give him this season, see what happens. Listen, as I said, he's, for me, to get the best out of Zirkzee, it shouldn't be to play him in that central number 9 role. I don't think he has the pace. I don't think he is a number 9. Yes, he's got very good hold-up play. But for me, he's someone who likes to drop deep, link-up play. And yes, Harry Kane was great at doing that at Spurs with scoring goals. But Zirkzee isn't really that sort of player. He's someone who, for me, is best at that number 10. Maybe he could be good on the wings. I mean, don't know what happens there. But for me, to get the best out of Joshua Zirkzee, we must play him not in that striker role. I think the 10 suits perfect for him. And maybe the Europa League games, the Cup games, you see Zirkzee in those positions. But for me, that's where I like Zirkzee the most. And ten Hag did it in his last game. Did kind of bring them on, did have them both on the field at the same time. And I think that's the right decision to be made. I think Zirkzee is a good player. As I said, it's just about United getting it out of him. And how do we do that? Listen, he was a prospect signing. He was a signing for the future. He is still 23. You look at the signings we have made this summer, or last summer rather. Ugarte has struggled to adapt to the Premier League football. Zirkzee has struggled. We don't know what's going to happen with Euro. There's no guarantee there, but we're hoping he can be a good signing. We have had players struggle. I think Højlund, he took a bit of time to adapt, but you see how good he's doing now. So I think it just does take time. Maybe after this season, we're kind of evaluate and assess what's going on with Zirkzee. But again, I don't think you should be labelling him a flop. I don't think you should be saying he didn't want to join Manchester United or Ten Hag didn't want him just because that kind of suits the narrative at the moment. But yeah, that's all on Zirkzee. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk about is Manchester United redeveloping the stadium and putting that on hold. It says Manchester United have put back a final decision on the stadium development until next summer. United want to explore what is possible to maximise the area available to them and are not expected to understand that fully until next spring. Manchester United will fund any new stadium development with financing options, what that would mean for fans being explored. Public money for related transport and infrastructure costs could enable such projects to realise its full potential and benefit the wider region. Listen, the stadium thing is fantastic. Like, obviously I want to develop that new stadium, make Old Trafford great and into one of the best stadiums. That ultimately should be the aim. That ultimately should be the thing going forward. Now, will United do it? Listen, it's going to take a lot of money. It's going to take a couple of £1 billion, which... do they have that sort of money? I think Ineos kind of do, and that's what they're kind of hinting at in there. But the fact they put it on hold, maybe it's a good thing. You don't want to be going into a huge investment and a huge sort of deal like that without having the money available, because it just wouldn't... It doesn't help anyone. United will go back into more debt that we're already in. And it just won't help anyone at the club. So I think the new stadium situation is certainly very interesting. For me, I've had my opinions. I've changed a lot as well. In terms of building a new stadium, some people disagreed, some people agree. I would want a new stadium at this point. I think a new stadium is absolutely fantastic for Manchester United. Right now, I think we do need a new stadium going forward. As I said, it's going to be a big investment. United are looking... United are looking at building a new stadium, and I think it's definitely better for the future. There's opportunities to grow, use the stadium, and if that would mean Old Trafford get knocked down, ultimately that's the decision that has to be made. For me, I wouldn't knock it down. I think Old Trafford's a legacy sort of player. I think he's a very, very good player. Wait, what? No, sorry, I'm looking at something else on Twitter, but on Alvaro Fernandez and him joining Manchester United. But for me, on the stadium, listen, just go ahead. Ineos will... It would take a lot to develop, but you look at it, it's a kind of transitional thing. It's a thing for the wider generation and the community at Old Trafford. There's a lot of space there. If you go to Old Trafford, there's a lot of area, which obviously Ineos, the Glazers, own. Ultimately, why not create a new stadium, new infrastructure, modern technology? It'd be absolutely fantastic for everyone at the club. So, yeah, maybe something that they try and do. I think it'd be absolutely fantastic for Manchester United and will be the way going forward. But as always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Leave a like on this news video if you did enjoy. I'm going to try and do a news update all the time because there's constant news about Manchester United at the minute. And yeah, I think it's great to do a little bit of an update here and there. Just talk about the club that we all love. But listen, thank you for watching. Hope you did enjoy. Like, comment and subscribe. Only a few stories discussed today. I think the Zirkzee one was certainly interesting. You can't label a player a flop just because he hasn't scored 10 goals in 10 games for Manchester United. And on the Old Trafford situation, they're delaying it until next summer. See what happens with that. Listen, I think it will come at some point. They're just trying to get the logistics right over that new decision. I think Old Trafford is a place where many people go. It's a fortress for many. And it's a fantastic stadium to go to. But as I said, they're delaying that for whatever reason. Just to get... No, it's to get the money right. But yeah, let's see what happens. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you are new. And listen, let me know your thoughts. Would you keep a new stadium? Or would you build a new stadium? Would you want Old Trafford to stay, or would you want Old Trafford to be knocked down and someone else and we build a new stadium elsewhere? But as always, like, subscribe on your way out. Peace.